Oh man, we've been waiting for this for so long. The whole week when I found out that he was going to be sitting across from me on that seat, I was excited. Is that a sign?
Yeah, no, black ihamba ne-dignity yayo ungamlaleli u-BBK. As soon as he left the chair here, there was light as if God had spoken.
Coach out at Kaizer Chiefs, we welcome Steve Komphela. So much can be said about the man. But Steve, before we even get into the nitty-gritties of your new appointment, etc., I mean, we work together here at the SABC. Upon hearing that you are undergoing surgery, South Africa League, I was worried because, you know, for months and months we'd seen you on the sidelines and we'd seen the growth that was growing on the side of your head.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's twofold. There was growth just here. It took time, and then got bigger. There it is. And I felt, there was no irritation, but I felt, no, let me go remove it. And my father heard that. And when I spoke to the doctor telling him about that, he said, hey man, you can't tell me because your father had it, you don't want to remove it. But again, funny enough, in as much as I had that, I had no complex. Because one, it could be a medical condition. Now I'm saying, listen, why should I hide a medical condition? Somebody might be carrying that. Now when they see me carrying that, that will help, it will inspire them to say, there's nothing wrong in that. It's not in your control. But after some time I decided, let me go remove it. And it was very successful. There's a plastic surgeon in Durban, Arvind Lal Bahadur, very good. He removed that. And my recovery and the healing was quite fast. And I'm okay now. No, there's nothing. Yellow bone.
Steve Komphela, well, we're happy to see you well. We're happy to see you looking good, all aerodynamic and all that. Well done and congratulations. Let's get into it. Congratulations. The first time Nana was Kulum on the appointment. Kaizer Chiefs coach, it's a big one. Tell me, when you get the call,
hey, Dot. I wish I could give a detailed report of it. But what was more important to me was receiving the call. It was humbling. And I said, no, it can't be. And second thought says, when your name is called, you don't have to ask, why me? Just say, oh, thanks, it's me.
Where were you, though, when you got the
call? No, I remember vividly. Hey, English now, man. I remember clearly. But the problem is that if I were to disclose, then it takes you back and then you start thinking. But it was at a period where there was nothing happening in my life, and I was at a zone and a space where I could easily accede to the request and declare myself, which I did. I was phoned by the authorities, Chiefs.
The authorities is not a person, Steve.
Okay, angibeke straight ke ngafonela ubaba umntawu nguBobby. Yes, and then he said to me, listen, there's a possibility of this nature. If you are okay and your management team is willing to work with us, we game. What do you think? And then I said to him, let me think about it and sleep over it because it is still a shock to me, and I'll get back to you. That was the beginning of the process.
Now, this wasn't the first time that your name was linked to Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, in recent times, this past season, it was even linked to Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
Any truth to that?
Yeah, there is.
So you had a conversation with Pirates?
Not conversation per se, but there were feelers. You know how the industry is. They would want to know, are you willing and all that, can you, would you and all that. And that's it. And again, I said it a long time ago. There are speculations. I don't even want to comment because any response to any speculative question is preemptive. So I did not want to start preempting things, and I decided, let me lie low.
So Steve, am I correct in assuming, Nguti, you got a call from Kaizer Chiefs, you got a call from Orlando Pirates asking, Nguti, are you available, are you willing to take on if the call is being made to say, come on?
I would put
and you chose Kaizer Chiefs? I
would put it slightly different by saying Orlando Pirates because now I'm at Chiefs. But there had been that by October, but that was that. But what I'm more happy about is that where I am now, I'm in a space that I was introduced to an environment that had grown so much. And after having been inducted, then I realized that, you know what, I think I took the right decision. But the challenge is even bigger.
Do you feel like you're back at home?
I'm more than home. I was at Chiefs as a player in 1993, left for Turkey, came back upon return. Obaba Mtaung Senior then introduced me to coaching. I assisted Musiner Tugral. After some time, I left. It was Dynamos, Men in Rangers, this, blah, 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 Free State Stars. And then I'm back as a head coach. To me, it's a unique privilege, great honor. But again, there's a huge task that goes along with it. Because the key that I'm holding is a key that can unlock the door for the rest of those who are more intelligent, more capable, who are standing behind me. There's also a possibility that I might spoil it even for those who are more intelligent. So I have to do a decent job so that I justify the decision taken by the chairman of the club.
Stuart Baxter, the man before you, did great things at Kaizer Chiefs. It's a man that you've worked with as well as his assistant at Bafana Bafana. His philosophy of football compared to Steve Komphela's?
No, not far off. There's a lot that we shared with Stuart, even from 2004-05 when we worked together, the workshops we conducted, and we would discuss. Both of us were in the PSL anyway. We would talk over the phone, share the trends, what's happening in football. He would also give me a little bit of what he's doing and all that, and I would also share my frustrations and what I think are solutions in whatever measures. So we're not far off. However, Andy, in the population of 6 billion in this world, each one of us have a different print on their finger. And I'm sure my signature can never be the same as that of Baxter. In as much as I'm saying I don't have a better signature, but I'm sure I'm going to be slightly different from what he is, but not far away from the philosophy of Kaizer Chiefs. And at Chiefs, Nje, it's all about winning trophies. I'm not saying I'm carrying a big bag full of trophies, but I'm aware that the team is about winning trophies.
Team is about winning trophies, the pressure that comes with that. The team also wants the best of the best all the time. Kaizer Chiefs need to have the best goalkeeper that's available, the best backline that's available, because they're a big team in the PSL. The buying philosophy, I saw you were there when you unveiled the new players. What was your involvement in acquiring new players?
I love the way you mentioned pressure. To me, I don't know pressure. Pressure is my second name. If you're not addicted to pressure, then you are not in the right space if you're a coach. However, Kuma signings, I think the club does its job diligently. There's a policy that is followed in terms of signing a player, which is clear, is on board, and everybody is involved. So when that process is unfolding in front of you, then you know that everybody had been given an opportunity to make their submissions. And I'm part of that as well.
Talk to me about those players then. Let's talk a little bit about Kamel Abro and Dulula, those signings. They happened, you were there, you unveiled Naba. What say did you have in that?
Then that one, the process was within. I had not joined the club then. So the process went through. I wouldn't want to go deeper with regards to who exactly, but the process of the policy in terms of signing a player for Chiefs had already taken place because I had not joined Chiefs then. And then when you arrive, as the players are announced, then you are also part of the announcement of the whole squad in terms of the new players that had been signed.
You have a relationship with Andile Ncube, one that spans from when he was a young man starting in the under-20s where you were coach and he was just a young boy, best friends and sharing rooms with Meiwa. We've shared those stories.
Senzo, yes.
You get to Kaizer Chiefs, there's a big hurrah happening with Andile Ncube. Have you personally spoken to him?
Not really, not really. We believe the systems in place at Chiefs are efficient enough. And one thing one has to be careful about, you don't want to circumvent things and now start to interrupt processes that are in line. I arrived at Chiefs, already there had been the activity of them having moved outside and there were these rumors. But the club had already taken the initiative to engage them even before the contracts had expired and all that. Now what transpired was, as I got into the setup, then the meeting took place between the football manager and them, and they were granted leave to say, listen, go think about this, and then come back to us. Then I was in. So the process is at the stage where they were given an opportunity to go think over the decisions they took, and if there would be any other meeting, then that meeting would involve whatever decisions they took and whatever view or the stance the team, the club takes. And which I would say from my point, the decisions that I've seen being taken at the club are very sober.
Is the door still open for Andile Ncube, for you, if he says, I want back in?
You know, Andy, my response has to be carefully crafted in the sense that whatever the outcome based on what they bring into the club, and what the club intends doing going forward should not leave me with an unanswered question that, no, but Stevie Ute or the coach said. So I'm saying the process is still on, and the club, obviously, after having met with the players, a decision will be taken and that announcement will come forth.
Steve, you're not giving me the answer.
I wish I could give you the answer because
yes or no? He comes to you, comes to the club, says, I'm willing to come back in. Steve,
okay.
Are you willing to have him back in?
The minute I say that, you want me to raise some sort of expectation. I need to guard against that because, you know, sometimes a Steve cannot talk and not on behalf of a Kaizer Chiefs coach.
I'm asking the coach, Steve, are you willing to have Andile Ncube back in your team? Do you look at your team and say, Itu would be a great asset in this team?
Itu is a great player. Itu is a great player. No. I must first profile the player without discrediting him and also give the version of my answer with regards to the question. Hey, let's look. But you interrogate me. When you interrogate, I have to come up clear because short answers in an interrogation are going to mislead you. So if you want to lead the process, you have to explain yourself.
I'm going to leave it at that. Steve, me and you, that's the coach out of Kaizer Chiefs. Trust me, you would need at least 24 hours to get all the answers you want out of Steve Komphela.